What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly Sports History for November 28th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. It is Tuesday. It is Giving Tuesday. So it's time for our weekly dose of positivity slash motivation. I'm very, very excited for today. And basically, the message that I want to convey out today is that we're all lucky. I mean, the fact that I'm sitting here talking about this day in Philly sports history, you're able to listen to it, and not everyone in our community is that lucky. So I wanted to take some time here on Giving Tuesday and officially announce that we are kicking off the first annual This Day in Philly Sports History Food Drive. I'm teaming up with the Maddie and Dixon Community Cupboard to help those in this community that are in need. They're based out of Ambler, but they offer all kinds of services to those in need, whether it's food, sometimes it's monetary, social work, clothing. And it's just that the holidays are especially important for organizations like this. And most community service organizations like this, this is the busy time, so to speak. And it's also the time where it's just glaring that they need help. Over the next couple of weeks, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to do a little bit of a reverse advent calendar. I'm modifying it after being able to speak with them yesterday to help them get some of the food they need. It was great. I was in yesterday and spoke to Jamie Abramson, who's the volunteer coordinator. And I was talking you guys up how great the audience is. So however we can help, let's go do this and let's make this the best holiday season ever for them. She did send me a list of what their most needed items are. I'll post the full list later today on my social media, but each day I'll let you know what they are. Donations need to be to them by December 15th just because of the way their schedule is from then until the end of the year. But more on the food as we get to later in this week. The big thing right now that they're focusing on, they are taking monetary donations if that's more your speed. They're also in the middle, and I love this. They're in the middle of their holiday gift card program for 2023. Basically, they're collecting gift cards in the amount of $25 to either Target, Amazon, or Walmart to be able to give out to families and let them kind of go on their shopping sprees for Christmas presents and things like that. This is the pressing need for right now. They need to have all those gift cards by December 8th in order to get them where they need to be. So if you want to buy a couple gift cards and send them to the Hattie and Dixon community or Maddie and Dixon Community Cupboard in Ambler, by all means do that. One way you can do it too, if you want, you can DM me, send me a private message. I can give you my Venmo or PayPal, and you can send me your donation, and then I can just buy one big chunk of gift cards to deliver to them. Whatever works best for you. But these guys do so much great in this community, and it's important to me. I really want to help them out. I did the reverse advent calendar with my kids last year and donated them to them. They loved it. The kids really got a kick out of being able to help and made them feel good to be able to give back. So anything you can do is much appreciated. They do take the monetary donations right now. Like I said, they're in the middle of the gift cards. It has to be $25 increments. So if you want to do 100, it would have to be four $25, 52, whatever. Again, whatever you can do is greatly appreciated. I will get more of this information out onto my social media, but let's help this great organization out and help the people that really are in need, because we truly are lucky. The fact that this is what we do every day. So whatever you can, the Maddie and Dixon Community Cupboard in Ambler, that's who we're teaming with. More on the reverse advent calendar and the food donations later this week. But let's get some gift cards so these kids can have a great Christmas. $25. Each one is $25 to either Target, Amazon, or Walmart. If you need or want more information, feel free, DM me, send me a message, whatever you need to do. But this is something that's very, very important to me, especially on a Tuesday, Positivity Tuesday, as well as Giving Tuesday. Let's just, like I said, let's make this the best holiday season ever for the people. Help Jamie and the crew out over at the Maddie Ann Dixon Community Cupboard out. she was very appreciative. She thought it was very ecstatic that anybody would take some time to try to give. So let's make it worth it. I told them how great the audience is. So let's do what we can. And if you have any questions, feel free. But as we go through over the next couple weeks, we'll be talking more about this great organization and how we can help. But let's get some gift cards so these kids can have a great holiday season. And that is our Tuesday positivity / motivation. What more do you need? The ability to just give back is just great. And honestly, like I am thrilled to be able to use this platform to help those in need and just see what we can do. And I would love to make this an annual thing, but let's kick it off right. Let's make this the best holiday season ever for them. If you want, like I said, you want to give donations to me and I can do one big gift for them, I can do that. Whatever's easiest for you, but hit me up. Let me know if you have any questions and what we can do. But let's do the first annual This Day in Philly Sports History food holiday drive, and let's make it the best for the Matty Ann Dixon Community Cupboard. All right. So let's recap now, get into the episode. Let's recap the question of the day. And yesterday I asked, if Chip Kelly did not trade Nick Foles, how would his career trajectory have played out? And for the most part, everybody just thought he was who he was. He caught lightning in a bottle, and thankfully he did to win the Super Bowl. So again, thank you for reaching out and participating in that. We will have another question of the day later in the episode. Let's put a bow on this Eagles-Bills game. And as just reflecting on it, it was one hell of a game. And just kind of being able to process it, listen to some sports talk, reading some articles. It's amazing what Jalen Hurts was able to do in that game, both in the fourth quarter as well as overtime, to not only tie the game, but to get the win. And the big talk on sports radio yesterday was the fact that he didn't really have those comeback wins too much in his career, basically because the Eagles I talked about this last week, how spoiled we've been because we've had those big leads and things like that. But I mean, he just has that killer instinct, like that Kobe Bryant, that Mamba mentality almost. So we're witnessing something great here. I feel this team still has a lot of things to work on. I mean, eventually those slow starts are going to bite them in the ass. But they do what they need to do to win. They make adjustments all the time, which is something that we lacked here for a long time. Going back to Andy Reid and even Doug Peterson for the most part, that was one of the areas he struggled with sometimes, was making the adjustments. But I mean, Nick Sirianni and his crew do a great job adjusting on the fly. It's great to see. But great win, game of the year candidate, and it just let's just enjoy it. I mean, sure, we could pick apart certain aspects of the game, but let's just enjoy the fact that it was an amazing, amazing day. Last little bit on the game, and I meant to mention this yesterday, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis were just all over the field, phenomenal during that game. So like what I'm seeing from the baby Bulldogs, let's hopefully they're going to continue to grow and just dominate for years to come. Through all the excitement, missed that we won our bet. The over 48.5 came in easily. That brings our record on the year to 9-5-1. Hopefully you've been following and you're making a little bit of money this year. The last little bit from that game, too, was the story about Shaq Lawson shoved the fan, which I don't know. I don't know what was said. He said he threatened him and his family or his family. But I mean, honestly, I watched the video. It just looked like a drunk idiot in the front row. I mean, the guy was talking shit with his beer in his hand. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Shaq Lawson did apologize. It looked a little bit out of control from the Bills standpoint, if you ask me. Yeah, Philly fans, we all know this, that, and the other. I talked about the lady yesterday. But, I mean, I don't know if it warranted this fan getting shoved or not. I'm surprised it's not a bigger story on that. But we move on. Let's turn the page. And it is 49ers week. And this rivalry Started from, I guess, the NFC Championship game last year. But, I mean, there's been more trash talk already, and it's Tuesday, in this game than I heard all of the Dallas week. So, like, I feel like this is a huge, huge game. Hassan Reddick called out the Niners, said hopefully they can back up all their whining they did all offseason. Deebo Samuel, when asked about James Bradbury, said he's like, I don't regret anything I said. You got A.J. Brown saying it's time to troll Deebo. So it's going to be hopefully a good week and a good game of just back and forth, and it should be a fun one. The Eagles did open up right now, or not open up, but the line has moved already. They're 2.5-point underdogs, which is disrespectful. Maybe they're going to come back with the underdog mentality. Lane Johnson comes back with the mask. I don't know. But gearing up for a great week here for the Eagles, getting ready to play the Niners. I've been telling you about Philly Goat. It's still not too late to do some your Christmas shopping. You have until December 10th in order to get your orders in time for Christmas. Go check them out. I mean, what can I say about them that I haven't already said? We talked about the Green Sabbath shirt. They had the Mega John, the Maximus. They have the ugly Christmas sweaters. Yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal thing. We just put a big order in for all our nieces and nephews. They're getting the Fanatic shirt that looks like the Major League Baseball logo, just in time for baseball season. And just go check it out. They have kid sizes, adult sizes, hoodies, t-shirts, hats. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery, 10% off of your order. That's phillygoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. All right, big win for the Sixers, 138-94 over the Lakers. Joe finally got his triple-double after coming so close this year of getting one. Just a complete dominant performance by them. Maxey had 30 points himself. The Sixers hit 22 three-pointers, and, I mean, that was the key. 22 three-pointers to the Lakers' 7. This was the worst loss, or if you're a Lakers fan, it was the worst loss ever to the Sixers, but the Sixers, the biggest rout of the Lakers ever, and they've had some pretty epic battles in the NBA Finals over the years. Currently, the Sixers are the 4th seed in the East, 1 game back. I know it's early, but I like to kind of just keep track of where they are and what's happening. It looks like they're the 4 teams we thought were going to be bunched together are there. There's still a lot of time. The Sixers obviously are going to make a move soon. So just wanted to keep you posted on their playoff seeding. Flyers in action tonight versus the Hurricane down at the Wells Fargo Center, looking to carry their momentum against our old buddy Rod Brindamore. But today, we are going to go back to 1968. And on this day, the Eagles and the Lions played in probably the ugliest and quite possibly the worst Thanksgiving game ever played. There were 73 running plays called, and they only combined for 234 yards. Overall, the Eagles had 161 total yards to the Lions 168. The Lions also had 4 turnovers. Like, the quarterbacks were just terrible. Like, nobody could run the ball. The Eagles did win the game 12-0 for their first win in the season. Sam Baker kicked 4 field goals, 1 in each quarter, to lead the Eagles to the victory. But it was not a time to celebrate for the Eagles because that was the year they were working on drafting O.J. Simpson. However, they still had a shot to get the number 1 pick if they lost their last 2 games. We all know how that played out. They ended up beating the Saints the next week, setting up the Santa Snowball game when they lost to the Minnesota Vikings in a game where it really didn't matter. And if they had won, they may have been able to not draft Leroy Keys, who we talked about earlier this week. But on this day back in 1968, the Eagles beat the Lions 12-0 on Thanksgiving in probably one of the, if not the ugliest, one of the top 3 ugliest Thanksgiving games ever played in NFL history. Really hurting their chances of getting O.J. Simpson in the draft. We settled for Leroy Keys, and the rest, as they say, is history. Led to us booing and throwing snowballs at Santa, a reputation that all these years later, the national media still likes to bring up. All right, I've been talking to you about Carcan, and as trashy as this game was on Thanksgiving back in 1968, if they had Carcan, they could have just rolled it up, put it in their car, or put it in their Carcan. Still not too late to get this. This is a great gift for people in the office. I'm going to be placing an order later this week for some of my coworkers, and it's great. It just hangs in the back of your seat. You throw it in when it's filled. You dump it out. If you don't like to just throw stuff in there, they have bags you can buy for them, little plastic trash bags. Great gift. Go now, carcan.com for all of your car organizational needs. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery 20 off for 20% off of your order. I don't know if it's still going, but for Cyber Monday, they had them priced at $8.99 each. So go check it out. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery 20 off to take an extra 20% off your order. It makes a great gift. I'm going to be buying a huge order of them later this week so I can get them in time for the holidays. Time to continue our Phillies' most disappointing athlete. And this one is definitely going to strike a nerve with a few people here. But this is Markelle Fultz, number 1 draft pick, number 1 overall in 2017. Immediately got a shoulder injury and forgot how to shoot and basically couldn't shoot. The issue I have with this, it should have been Jason Tatum. The Sixers had the 3rd pick, Boston had the 1st pick, and somehow Danny Ainge duped the Sixers into thinking that they really wanted Fultz, but if they wanted him, he could be theirs, when really they wanted Tatum the whole time. And the Sixers could have just stood pat, took Tatum, and been fine. However, I will say at the time, and I did a lot of research, Markelle Fultz was widely considered the number 1 draft pick in the draft that year. Doesn't mean the Sixers couldn't have taken Jason Tatum. It's just that's who they would have or could have taken. And it's easy to look back, I guess. Hindsight is 20/20. But it's going to come back as one of the ultimate boneheaded moves in Sixers draft history. He's still playing in the league for Orlando. He's a solid player, definitely not number 1 pick worthy. But remember, man, it was all hyped up. They were supposed to have Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Markelle Fultz were boom, boom, boom. And the process was supposed to, they were supposed to win multiple championships. Instead, only Embiid is still on the team and is winning MVPs and getting triple doubles. But Markelle Fultz, I think, of all of them, based on what they could have had, is one, to me, the most frustrating draft pick of the process era. I mean, you can make a case for a lot of them. But to me, Markelle Fultz, because of being the number 1 pick, having a number 1 pick, and then the fact that you not only didn't turn out, you couldn't shoot, got injured, but you got duped by the Celtics, who ended up taking Jason Tatum, who still haunts us to this day. That to me is why this is the worst draft pick bust of the process. However, that leads us into the question of the day. Of all the draft pick busts during the process, and there's quite a few. I mean, you can go Ben, Markelle, Jahlil Okafor, even going back to Nerlens Noel, Michael Carter Williams. Which one is the biggest disappointment? And I mean, off the top of your head, you might think Simmons, but if you really look at what these guys did, you could go any of them. So let me know. Jimbo_Mont on Twitter and TikTok. Philly Jimbo at Instagram. Let me know on Facebook if you're friends. Shoot me a text message, comment wherever you're watching or listening to this. But that's the question of the day. Of all the draft pick busts during the process era, which one is the most disappointing? Today, we talked about Philly's most disappointing athlete, Markelle Fultz. He has my vote, and you guys all know how I feel about Ben Simmons. But let me know what you think about that. On this day, back in 1968, the Eagles won their first game of the season, beating the Lions 12-0 in Detroit on Thanksgiving, in just a brutal, brutal game to watch. Yeah, thank God for turkey and beer that day, I'm sure. We're gearing up for Eagles 49ers week. Getting pumped. Let the trash talk begin. This is when it gets fun. Be sure to hit up the Matty Ann Dixon community cupboard. get those gift cards to them. Remember, $25 increments for Walmart, Target, or Amazon. If you rather, DM me and I can give you my Venmo and PayPal. But let's help this community organization out. This is the first ever This Day in Philly Sports History food drive. Let's make it the best ever for them and help my girl Jamie out over at the Maddie Ann Dixon Community Cupboard. We'll have more on this as we get through the next couple of weeks, but that's Tuesday, our Tuesday positivity, man. We're lucky. Not everybody else is as lucky as we are, so let's make some kids' holidays and get those gift cards out, and we'll worry about the food next week. But let's make some holiday seasons and play some Santa Claus here. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Tuesday, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.